Section 1 of Flower Patch Among the Hills. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Flower Patch Among the Hills by Flora Clickman. In memoriam, just to explain who everybody is, why the cottage is, why the book is. In memoriam, dedicated to my husband. There twice a day the Severn fills, the salt sea water passes by, and hushes half the babbling why, and makes a silence in the hills. Part 1. Just to explain who everybody is. Virginia and her sister Ursula are my most intimate friends. Virginia, really quite a harmless girl, imagines she has a scientific bias. Ursula, domesticated to the backbone, led a strenuous life in the pursuit of experimental psychology till she switched off to wash hospital saucepans. It will be so obvious that I scarcely need add what little common sense the trio possesses is centred in me. Abigail is my housemaid. Her title to fame is the fact that she is the only servant I have ever been able to induce to remain more than a fortnight at one stretch in the country. The others, including those who are orphans, always have a parent who suddenly breaks its leg, after they have been about 10 days away, and wires for them to come home at once. The cook has discovered a number of cousins in the Naval Division at the Crystal Palace, detachments of which pass my London house hourly, while many units partake of my cake and lemonade, and of course you can't neglect your relatives in wartime. You never know whether that'll be the last time you see them, she says, waving a tearful tea towel at all and sundry who march past. Naturally, she doesn't care to be away from town for many days at a time. The parlour-maid was interested in a member of the LCC Fire Brigade when he enlisted, and incidentally married someone else, unfortunately the very week she was away with me. This has given her a marked distaste for the simple pleasures of rural life. Abigail is unengaged. What I ask is, what better off are you if you are? She inquires of space. Take my sister now, with 8 children and... But as I am not taking anyone with 8 children just now, the sister's biography is neither here nor there. Abigail is a willing, kind-hearted girl. Also, she has a mania for trying to arrange every single household ornament in pairs. She would be invaluable to anyone outfitting a Noah's Ark. As for the other people who walk through these pages, they do not appertain exclusively to one district. I have had 2 cottages, one beyond Godalming in Surrey, the other high among the hills that border the River Wye. Some of the country folk live in the one village, some in the other, but the scenery, the little wild things, and the garden are all related to the cottage that overlooks Tintern Abbey. Part 2. Why the cottages. I took a cottage in the country on a day when I had got the fag end of the very last straw, and felt I could not endure for another minute the screech of the trains, the honking of motors, the clanging of bells, the clatter of milk carts, and the grind and squeal of electric cars, the ever-ringing telephone, the rattle and roar of the general traffic, the all-pervading odour of petrol, and the many other horrors that make both day and night hideous in our great city, and reduce the workers to nervous wreckage. The cottage has been so arranged that not one solitary thing within its walls shall bear any relation to the city left far behind, and nothing is allowed to remind the occupants of the business rush, the social scramble, and the electric lights and